I mean, everybody's like, man, they know he got no chance. Tank told you a couple of days earlier, hey, you not going the distance. Y'all shake, pretty little 250, whatever the case may be. You go into that fight, you know Tank's a slow starter, builds up as the fight progresses, know he's trying to land, hook to the body, come up top with it. I thought even without the knockdown, I thought he won it. I thought he had, I mean, look, I know Tank landed punches, but
because he was aggressive.
Roach was the more aggressive fighter.
We will never see that fight happening again. It just will not happen. Gervonta Tank Davis doesn't like hard fights. It's that simple. We've seen it over and over. He fought a Ryan Garcia drained. He fought a very inexperienced Rolly.
Gervonta Davis' decision to forego a rematch with Lamont Roach drew harsh criticism from Shannon Sharpe. He maintained that the fight ought to take place, particularly since Roach should have won if the knockdown had been recorded. It's time for Davis to quit avoiding genuine challenges and give fans the rematch they deserve, Sharpe said, criticizing him for avoiding difficult battles.
If they have a rematch.
Yeah, I mean, they have to, huh? Hey,
but look, there's enough fighters in that class. You got Lomachenko, you got Shakur, you got Haney, you got Garcia, you got Tank, you got Roach. Come on, man, make these damn fights happen. Stop ducking and dodging each other. What the?
Even Tank, Sharpe's critique becomes even more significant. He acknowledged Lamont Roach's superior skill set.
And you looked at him and you said, you really should have waited. You took this fight too early. You really should have waited. That's what you told him before the fight, and then you went and put him to sleep. This cat right here, Lamont Roach, he ain't saying something like that about you, is he? He's not doing that, is he?
No, but Lamont had more experience than Roach. I mean, I'm bugging. Lamont had more skills than Frank Martin, for sure.
Okay.
Given his history of avoiding difficult rematches, many boxing fans and observers predict Gervonta Davis will not face Lamont Roach again. His prior choices, like as declining a rematch with Ryan Garcia or other dangerous opponents over his career, support this opinion.
Never see that fight happening again. It just will not happen. Gervonta Tank Davis doesn't like hard fights. It's that simple. We've seen it over and over. He fought a Ryan Garcia drained. He fought a very inexperienced Rolly Romero. He will not fight Devin Haney. He will not fight Shakur. He will not fight Pitbull Cruz again. He will not fight Lamont Roach again. He will not fight Tefimo. He will not fight, he will not fight those guys. That's just not.
Were upset by Davis's weak performance against Lamont Roach, which made them question if he's still at his peak. Longtime trainer Calvin Ford's absence only encouraged rumors that Davis suffered without his direction. Some people think that Ford's exit contributed to Davis's decline in physical prowess.
Davis versus Lamont Roach goes to a majority decision draw, with Tank retaining his WBA lightweight title. Now, I did not score this fight a draw. I had it 7-5 to Lamont Roach. I thought he had the ring generalship and effective pressure. He was landing the jab and effective combinations. Tank, as usual, had a very low output, and he was relying on one big shot. I gave Roach the first 3 rounds, Tank the next 3 rounds, and then Roach 4 the last 6 rounds to win the fight. Not to mention, Tank did take a knee in the middle of the fight. By rule, that should have been considered a knockdown. Yes, it was to get his mouthpiece, and that's why they didn't rule it a knockdown. But anytime a fighter takes a knee, that's a knockdown. And that would have given Roach 1 more point to win the fight. Now, I'm sure they'll run it back. I mean, Lamont Roach absolutely deserves a rematch. He just had the fight of his life. He wasn't scared to go toe-to-toe with Tank. Landing his combinations, the bigger counters, and the more effective shots. He definitely deserves a second payday. Now, in the co-main event, Gary Antoine Russell put on an amazing performance. I think he won 11 or 12 rounds against Ryan Valenzuela. Great hand speed, good combinations, masterclass to win the WBA title. And then in the featured bout, Alberto Puello beat Sandor Martin to retain his WBC title. He landed the cleaner left hands, definitely won the last 2 to 3 rounds to edge the fight. But overall, good card. I do think Roach won the fight, though.
He and Davis criticized Tank. Davis, saying he lacked focus during the fight against Lamont Roach, suggested that Tank's mindset wasn't fully in the ring, which may have affected his performance. Many fans agree, believing distractions outside of boxing contributed to his struggles during the highly anticipated matchup.
I feel like Tank overall, like the bigger picture, he just wasn't focused for real. He, doing a lot of arguing in the ring and just a lot of stuff that wasn't like, he wasn't just focused. He wasn't all the way locked in the ring. You heard him say something like, it's a lot of things going on outside the ring that he was leading up to the fight, and shit, that's natural, it's normal. Shit, I was going through the same thing with this last fight, so I just feel like he just wasn't focused.
Davis and Lamont Roach's first fight attracted a lot of attention, resulting in a 149,000 pay-per-view PPVV purchase rate. Although commendable, these figures fell short of expectations, which sparked conversations regarding the elements affecting the event's financial success.
So, Rick Glazer is reporting that Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach sold 149,000 pay-per-view buys. And he tweeted this report at Turkey Ala Sheik. Coincidence? Truthful? Do you trust Rick Glazer's reporting on this issue? If you do, let me know why. If you don't, let me know why not. But you best believe I have a long video coming on this later today. Y'all be sure to check that out. We'll see y'all soon.
Before their first fight, Lamont Roach made sure the contract had a provision that gave him an instant rematch, stating his readiness and excitement to take on Davis once again. Roach made it clear that the rematch would take place at the discretion of Davis's camp.
I just so happen to be a boxing fan that the fact that I do watch him fight, you know what I'm saying? Like I really like boxing.
Are you open to immediate rematch?
In my contract, immediate rematch was signed. I signed
Right.
for the immediate rematch when I signed for the first fight.
Right.
Just in case he lost or just in case it was a draw.
So when you got a rematch clause, how long we taking?
It's up to the A side and when they want to fight. So I'm thinking it's gonna be soon. I'm hoping it's gonna be soon. Let's say that.
What is soon to you? When you say soon to me, I'm thinking a month.
I'm thinking July.
I'm thinking July.
Davis expressed hesitancy when asked if he thought a rematch with Roach was possible, saying he did not anticipate one occurring this year, allowing observers and admirers to speculate about his future intentions.
Do you want that rematch next? And if so, how likely it is that we're to see that fight happen again this year?
I'm not sure, bro. I'm definitely not sure, but hopefully we could get it before. Nah, it probably won't be this year.
Is that the one you want next?
It's definitely the one I want next, but it's not gonna be next.
Well, what is?
You might see it in a minute. You definitely might see it in a minute.
Great Henry Garcia was skeptical of Davis's performance against Roach. He pointed out that Davis's longtime trainer, Calvin Ford, was not present. Garcia said that other problems outside the ring may have affected Davis during the bout as a possible factor influencing his performance.
No way you could say Tank won. There's no way.
Do you think that he's diminished in some way, or do you think that just mentally he just wasn't there for the fight?
Well, a little bit of both. His age is catching up to him. His legs aren't there as he used to be. And, he switched his trainer, that's could be another factor.
With Barry Hunter being the head trainer and Coach Calvin being outside.
Yeah, but he snapped at Calvin too. So that's, there was something going on. I really don't know, and I couldn't really speculate on that because I don't know. But I know that something was bothering Tank because Tank is a good fighter and he's out to hurt you, but hey, Lamont Roach stood his ground, and he did great.
Gervonta Davis has come under fire from certain boxing experts for supposedly selecting his opponents at random during his career. They contend that Lamont Roach is seen in this case as a skillfully chosen opponent who brought unforeseen difficulties. Because of this result, there has been conjecture that Davis would decide not to rematch in order to keep his perfect record.
Tank been cherry picking for a long time, but I think Tank got the talent to be an all-time great. He just don't want to have a resume for whatever reason. So I think this is gonna force him to go see people.
Step up a little bit.
It showed even his fans. It kind of took that allure off. Like, oh, this nigga not perfect. He can't just whoop anybody ass. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, and I think Lamont should have won the fight on the technicality.
Oh.
If it wasn't a knockdown, the ref wouldn't have started counting. He started counting. He only stopped because Tank told him to stop. He told that nigga no. I'm like, no, stop, nigga. I felt he was like, oh, my bad.
Yeah. If you take away the jabs, Tank landed more percentage was higher. I'm all about connection, bro. I think Tank did a better job in the fight. I gave Lamont maybe one of the early rounds. After round 6 or 7, I think Roach put in very good work and kind of matched whatever Tank was doing, or Tank matched whatever Lamont started doing. The technicality, bro, that
was criticized for his performance during the first bout between him and Roach, which caused his own supporters to react in an unexpected way. Boos aimed at Davis reverberated around the stadium, expressing the audience's dissatisfaction and increasing the likelihood of a rematch with the boxing legend.
Doing this shows that it wasn't an outside strange occurrence, that it may just be a part of his DNA. For him to get hit in amateurs and then take a step back and take a knee when he obviously wasn't hurt, it just shows to me that instead of gritting it out, all right, and possibly get knocked out or taking those chances, he'd rather take a knee to disrupt the momentum and then start over. That's how I'm taking it. It can be a great strategy, or it can be the bully complex. That when you meet somebody and they're not fearing you, or they're not retreating or backing away from you, and they're showing poise and the ability to withstand your output and give some back, like any bully.
He take a knee. You need to lose like 10-8 that round at least, no? And plus the corner go up and put it a towel in the face. That's disqualification.
To override his decisions or knockdowns. Some skeptics have suggested that Willis's call benefited Davis unfairly, but we do not subscribe to that notion. In our long experience judging fights, we see no evidence of favoritism, only a referee prioritizing the physical safety of a fighter who appeared compromised by an eye injury, which I actually get. I understood that statement because, hey, look, Steve Willis he didn't call it a knockdown.
You take a knee like that looks like a knockdown. All right.
So I think it's going to be very difficult for the New York State Athletic Commission to review this and then call it a knockdown. Because here's the thing. The fight could have gone completely differently if Gervonta was told that it was a knockdown officially. Gervonta could have then responded differently, because let the truth be known, Gervonta didn't even know it was the 12th round when it was the 12th round. He thought it was the 8th.
Forgot where he was at. He thought he was still in the 8th round. He thought he still had rounds to go.
12th round. He said, damn, it's the 12th? Yeah, it's the 12th and you're down.